And now for something completely different.
Welcome to Job or Nobody, where we talk about blasters like nobody's business. And today, got something a little bit different. CosmoX Sirius.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Mega drum, like the size of that. My hands are pretty big too. Giggity. You know what they say about people with big hands? Big gloves. This is a friend's son's. I have seen some of these do some pretty cool things. It's basically a Gen 8, or at least a Gen 8 style. This one's, as usual, come to me for reasons. Doesn't shoot. Come on, battery. Decent amount of battery space. Little things to stop it jiggling around. Of course, to find out what's wrong with it. 7 volt. Tiny. And your reverse latch is gone. And the nozzle doesn't move. He also wants this to be a little bit more competitive. Young fella quite likes it. I mean, an outdoor field where you're allowed full auto, it's all quite comfortable even for my adult hands. Grip's a little bit small, but I'm not sure what he's aiming at up here, but I think the idea will be we'll pull this apart, see what the Cosmo gearbox is like versus a traditional Gen 8. Maybe we can do some cool things with it. Maybe we just repair it, see how his budget goes, how much the kid likes it. Let's get stuck into it. Oh, it does look like it's got a lot of screws.
Oh my God, we're screwed, we're screwed.
So we're 21 screws deep into this so far. Ah, that looks very Gen 8. Plastic barrel. Oh, that would be annoying. So could that. In true Gen 8 form, that's the only screw holding the entire gearbox in. I do like what they've done with the wires. Oh man, I wish Jinming did that shit. Come on, come on. Yeah, yes. These mag terminals absolutely need to come out. Yeah. They're really in there. That's easy. A lot of screws, but easy enough. So quick thoughts. At least all the screws in the body are the same, so you don't have to lay them out like I have. No way to tell where the piston is. Not much of a spring anyway. Righto, Gen 8 things. Man, that isn't there.
2 very boring minutes later.
Trigger switch, wiring. I like these little wire channels, that is very cool. There you go, one of my favourite parts about a Gen 8. Just screws into the nylon, so watch you don't thread that shit. That's I nearly glossed over that. As a spiral nylon gear. It sounded horrendous anyway. Maybe keeps it a bit stronger. I'd say so far they've done some good things for the old Gen 8 style stuff. The legendary Gen 8. Will it fit, will it fit, will it fit? Of course those mag terminals are in the way. Oh, it's just that little bit different. Literally just that post and that post are different enough. And the motor cage might be slightly off as well. Oh well. But the plan is to keep this as cheap as possible, but as reliable as possible. So we're not going to be going nuts anyway. We're going to try and get the fire rate up. 8mm bushes. I've seen some pretty crazy ones of these at a local field. Most of them had an extended barrel way out the front, so you can get that extra power. Yeah. Nah. Not a shim in sight. That's alright. Gears look to be alright. So I have to replace the gears or repair that post. Look at that. That means that post. Alright, there's your problems. He wanted metal gears anyway. ported cylinder. It actually has some seal. Not great, but some. I mean, at operating speed, it has seal. Cool. Piston looks alright, but it's going Metal Gear, so it'll get changed anyway. Till the nozzle gets involved. I don't know if I'll have something that can change that. That could be an interesting operation in itself. Note how the trigger hasn't popped out. That's neat. Return spring's pretty weak, but nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the taper plate. No shims. Yeah, I've gone with a spiral bevel. Very cool. Standard spur. We've got to replace that spring because that shouldn't be bent. That's why we had anti-reverse problem. No signs of damage on the taper plate, which is really good. Anti-reverse latch is broken, and I would say that broke demonstration. I would say this is brought back. Anti-reverse latch is broken, stop firing, and it's rammed forward, which has just broken that piece off. Worst things could have happened. A lot of cool little things for the old Gen 8. This is the big one for me. Like plastic barrels. Not cool. 210mm plastic barrel. 9.5. Sweet. Hopefully I can use some boiling water without warping the T-piece. Maybe get us a longer barrel. Let's get to shimming. Just a few casties. I know there's a few that weren't even used before they got replaced. Didn't even separate the shims, you fucking lazy prick. A lot of the, gel brands were great at just not giving you any room for a spur gear, and you had to make room. Oh, there's just room, I think. Of course, it's impossible for you to see. Take my word for it, it's moving. There is no need for a shim though. Damn. Oh. Wow, they're a thick bushing. Oh, oh. Decent fit. Fucking have a go at that. Let's snap in decently, but let's see if we got some more room now. I think low profile bushies are just the ticket. What's going on there? They do not want to mesh. That is really tight. They're cool. These not so much. Let's press on, see how it goes. Fuck me. Good bit of movement on you. Good bit on you. Hooray, they're an option. For what he's going to get out of this, casties are fine. The objective is to keep it as cheap as possible. Another of Doc Bog's favourites, and mine, the old red Chi-Hi. Get ready to suck up anything that's metal. 460, 460. Shaft's a little bit longer, but we'll see if that's a problem down the track. That's fucking amazing.
Boring!
So I'm running what I call spare shit. All these JG gears I've got are just left here. Someone gets a gearbox Someone gets a blaster upgraded. Do you want your old bits? Most people don't. This is perfect. It'll keep the cost down for Dad. Get the young fella back in the game with something better than nylon gears. A bit more reliable. And I'm not going to charge for him. You can just have him. So far, he's only paying for my time and some bushes. And a motor. Nick, right? Fucking, yeah, that's just got room. Cool. The thing with a 460 motor, especially these where you can't adjust the motor height, you have to set the pinion on right where it belongs from the get-go. There are no second guesses, no second chances. Not a problem. I've got grease on my fingers. Hooray. Oh, for shit's sake. Fuck off. All the way on. Neat. I'm not going to set the pinion until I get further along. Actually, I've done this wrong. Pinion puller from T238. Fucking brilliant. Stainless. Gets nicely around the base of that. Not trying to get under the base of that. Holds it nice, doesn't seem to ruin it. I like them. Really like them. Yeah, you may ask yourself, why are you installing the motor while you're shimming? Well, nylon gearbox things. Every screw you put into these affects the shimming. Every fucking screw. While we got a minute backing around, hit that subscribe button. I've noticed about 80% of you watching my stuff aren't subscribed. How the fuck are you gonna know when shit comes out? How? You're not. You're just not. So, subscribe. It means a lot to me. Comment with shit you'd like to see, and if I can, I will. A lot of what I do is based on what comes across my bench. This is something I would never buy for myself, just because I'm a replica fan. But I am kind of a fan of something you could, be seen to play with in the backyard. Not cause old Dorothy next door to fucking, oh God, he's dead again. Now, I don't like doing this. I'm happy with that. Once it's under load, it'll be gone. I suppose at this point I should Loctite the pinion on before I fucking forget. Worth noting, we're not really going for extra speed, just torque and efficiency. Come on, have some left. Fuck. Yeah, time to get some more thread locker. Let's get this off those other bushings. Whee. Yeah, that could work. Oh, look at that. Will say though, so far, just changing the bushings and using cast gears, this has been quite the joy to work on. And I think that is just going to come together nicely too. So far, for shimming gears at least, this is the nicest nylon Gen 8 style gearbox I've ever worked on. Change bushes, cast gears, done. Cool. you. Alright, we lost audio for a while. Fuck, so let me just catch you up on some shit. I don't know where it finished, but we were shimming stuff. Gears went in sweet. Slim bushes, cast gears, heaps of room for shimming. Really like that. GI motor fits in nice. That all runs really well. This plastic barrel was glued into this. You may be able to see this hole here. I've used some shockproof super glue that is in there. That hole was just full of super glue. It might be some other adhesive. It feels like super glue, isn't it? Basically a lot of alcohol, not for me, damn it, too early, prying out around here. Alcohol, pry, cut, just shaving away with a little craft knife. In the end I got impatient and just used a pair of pliers and just went around and crushed it. That hole was just full of super glue. I just got a 4mm drill and drilled through the barrel, and that sorted that out. Barrel's out, nice alloy barrel in. I'll trim it to length. It's a little bit long. I'll trim the barrel about 240mm. Should have the barrel just clearing this so we can put a hop up on. JG piston with Loctited, nice alloy piston head. Fucked off the brown O-ring because they're too fat. This one's got a little enough movement. They work well. That's slotted. It's a little bit over volume for a 210mm barrel, but it'll be perfect for about a 240mm barrel, which should clear just out enough to get a hop up on. So this will go well. That seals quite well. No lube yet, so just whatever was in there. The nozzle, while this is proprietary, it's a little bit loose. We're just going to have to go with a good amount of thick grease. That's all we can really do. They're quite long. I'm just not going to have anything I can swap that out for. I will have a look though, because if we can get a good nozzle on here, that'll be a really good seal all over. I was thinking just throwing in a free JG spring. We're getting about 280-ish FPS. I don't know. It's all about trying to make it efficient and effective and reliable. Otherwise, this thing seems pretty good. Shimmed really well with those bushes. Everything seems to be behaving. That piston slides well. Spring retainer actually sits. Just throw everything away. Spring retainer actually sits in pretty nice in these. Quite impressed. Not a lot of movement.
Grease me up, woman! If elected mayor, my first act will be to kill the whole lot of you and burn your turn to cinders! I know it's on!
Let's see if this works. Just doesn't sound right. I don't think it likes this piston somehow. Yeah, I'd say that's barely picking that up. Yeah, I'd say that's barely picking that up. What the fuck is going on here? Fucking magnets. Fuck me. Get out. Try one of my favourites. Now he's got to pay for a piston. Gonna go out on a limb. If this was mine, and it ain't, I would probably opt for an Apache because the nozzle is the same diameter as that. An Apache with probably the V3 nozzle tip or nozzle, I think they do those now, would actually pretty much the same profile nozzle rubber tip and would be about the same length or you could make it work so it is, you would probably actually be able to get a good seal. Ladies and gentletards, cross your fingers. It can't sound worse. Fucking brilliant. That sounds awesome. Let's get a little bit naughty. Look at the There's no way. Damn. Yes! I'm very happy with that. All because the rack sits up a little too far into the body of the piston. And it's fuck all difference. Fuck all. But it's enough that it fucking aided it. That's really cool. Soldering, bang this fucker back together. We'll be right back.
15 minutes later.
There we go. Red GI, 18-to-1 cast gears, got a 10 amp switch, nice POM metal rack piston, alloy piston head, green O-ring. Couldn't do anything about the nozzle or the cylinder head. In the future, an Apache fits. If your kids are happy using ultra hard gels, yeah, it could be an option. Can't do much about the spring retainer, is what it is. And I've just got a JG M4 spring in it, barrels cut to the length of the cylinder. Air seal will be a little bit inconsistent just because couldn't do anything about that. Budget build, Dean's connector. It's kid's blaster after all. Didn't want to go too nuts on it. Done. How does it sound, I hear you say? Dean's. Not a lot of wiring, but obviously this battery struggled to fit in here anyway. Or you could do it if you were really persistent. You could tuck back wires up in here. Figured out afterwards is you could actually trim out up here. There's generous amount of space in it. Your normal side buffer tube size ones, not the ones that barely fit in a buffer tube. Perfectly fine. It is an impressive magazine. I reckon you might be pretty happy with that. And like pretty consistent. Boom. There you have it. Let's put the stock on. How much more would it cost to adjust that? I think it would be a laugh to run one of these. Like, especially doing 21 rounds a second, 270 feet a second. Like, get a hop up on there, just get some nice accurate shots in. Never reload, because man, that drum just lasts for ages. What a beast for a young fella. Hope you enjoy, mate. Notice a lot of you fuckers watching this shit aren't subscribed. What the fuck are you doing? Subscribe, comment, like, dislike. Fuck. Interact with me. Ask me stuff. If you want to ask me questions in the comments, I might start answering them in following videos. Beast of a blaster. Like, very happy with how that turned out. 7.5mm barrel, so, you know, it's a kid's blaster. They tend to clear a jam with the trigger, so, you know, there's much less likelihood of that happening with a 7.5mm barrel. Nice and under his budget too. It's kind of a shame that that post broke off and the anti-reverse latch spring just bent. Helical nylon gears, and there's a lot of anti-reverse latch, you know, points. Potential's there, but in practice, these things happen. Set of slim, low-profile bushings, which made shimming the gears a breeze. Like, easiest Gen 8 style box I've ever worked on, if I'm going to put it out there. It's got a red Chi-Hi motor in place of that. the spring, which, oh come on, stick with me. It's a 1.1. Like, I don't know what it did out of the box. Oh, now I've got to fucking look, don't I?
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And 10 amp switch. I'm gonna go with a simple MOSFET just to remove the load, but for the young ones, if a MOSFET, even the simple ones, if they fail, generally what they do is the thing just goes full auto till you unplug the battery. Not good, because kids having fun, thing just starts going full auto. They're probably going to brass up a lot of people before they figure out they've got to get in here, remove the battery. That happens, you quickly drop a mag so it stops blasting gels everywhere, and then you can deal with your battery. Whereas with the switches failing, it might get a bit sticky. Not all kids are stupid, but going with the switch, I felt saved me a little bit of wiring. Parts only charge because he's a legend. Having that switch though means eventually when it starts to wear out, he'll be shooting, and instead of just cutting off when he lets the trigger off, they might hold on for a little bit extra. They generally don't weld into a closed circuit, whereas your simple MOSFET fails. They are a closed circuit permanently. They're just going to full auto till you remove the battery. It's a safer option for the youngsters. So an Apache would be the way to go if you want to mint seal. Doing 270 feet a second, pretty consistent considering. To be fair, cylinder head sealed really well to the cylinder. The nozzle, it wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible either. I've seen way worse for a stock blaster with no O-ring and a nozzle. It's actually pretty good. Pretty cheap build. Hopefully the kid gets a lot of fun, brasses up a lot of adults. I reckon he'll have a good time with this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment with some questions, give me some material for fuck's sake. Otherwise I'm just going to keep making random shit. Cheers.